And good evening. Welcome to the Deltahead stream. I am James Howell. Tonight we're going to do part 2 of Yakuza Dead Souls, where we left off at the start of one of Akiyama's sub-stories. We're not going to go deep into the sub-stories this run-through, but we are going to do just enough to get the ultimate weapon for each character, because I am playing this on a New Game Plus file. New Game Plus does not carry over. It does not carry over your arsenal from the previous save, but it does carry over the unlockable recipes. And so we're going to do enough of those side stories to get what we need to build those weapons. So Akiyama's current weapons are the high and low, and Elise, which I believe is the name of the hostess club that he eventually sets up in maybe Yakuza 4 in one of his sub-stories. I don't remember what the exact context is, but I know that he's got a connection to that club of that name. That's going to be our goal. So, let's see. Let's see, show and tell here. Starting a little bit later than I like. I hope that does not cost us too many folks on the East Coast or those early to bed on the West Coast. Let's see. Been reading Tom Stoppard's Hapgood. Which is this right here. Tom Stoppard. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. So less glare. You can see it there. Tom Stoppard, playwright, I believe, Shakespeare in Love, as the work that most people are familiar with. Second after that's probably Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is excellent movie version with Tom Robbins and Willem Dafoe. Is it? I don't think not Willem Dafoe, but it's Tim Robbins. Tom Robbins. Anyway, good actors, and their names resemble the syllables I just said. And then third, I think, would probably be Arcadia, which I think is more widely read, I think, maybe than seen, since Shakespeare in Love and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead are, very easily, they're very widely circulated. Hapgood is his shot at the sort of noir spy. Evening, Mazen. It's good to see you. Hi. Looks like this is the first time chat. It is good to meet you. Just to, kind of at the beginning of each stream, I do kind of like a show and tell where I kind of share what I've been reading that week or since the last stream. So this is Tom Stoppard's Hapgood. And it's leaning in some of the direction that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern did, which is, they do a lot of jokes based on physics and puns, and he seems to be taking on quantum physics in this, and I have no idea how much he knows about quantum physics, or if it is the pop version of quantum physics that I know, which is quasi-mystical and not very physics-based at all. But yeah, so but it is very charming as Stoppard is. And thank you. No, I'm doing really well. It's been a challenging week with the news, as it is for many. But other than that, it's been fine. I've been great. Been doing a lot of reading. Been doing a lot of writing, and some music too, which I'm looking forward to showing you. But yeah, he's got a scene in this where he there's secret squirrel spy stuff being discussed at the edge of the pitch of one of the characters' son playing for his high school team, or whatever the UK equivalent is, because this is set in England, and it's very charming. It's very charming. Mixes the personal with the noir spy element. I've been jumping back into this Dante's Purgatorio, which if you've only read the Inferno, I think you're missing out. Purgatorio and Paradiso are both much more readable and also sort of complete the vision. And I decided to jump right in the middle, which is about where I left off on the platform of sloth, which is insufficient zeal for the good. Not sloth in the sense of laziness, but you can see the line between them. And whoa, there we go. And Octavio Paz, A Draft of Shadows. These are great translations. Two of the translators in here, Elizabeth Bishop and Mark Strand, both excellent poets in their own right. And Evening Swimmies, good to see you. And Paz as source material is exquisite. Yeah, like in the Lodi Gardens, the black pensive dense domes of the mausoleums suddenly shot birds into the unanimous blue. And that's great, just like a strong image, strong snapshot, with the language is very focused, and you can see it, you can feel it. Ray Bradbury short stories, I actually picked this one up, Swimmy, because after your skeleton stream, I was interested in finding the short story about the guy whose skeleton got skeleton napped. And I found that story online, wanted to find it in print form, could not find it here. So then went out searching for it, and it's good. It's good. It's a good one. It is not in this one, unfortunately, the Toynbee Convector, but this contains a lot of stories that I never, that I intended to read but didn't. This is 1988 Ray Bradbury. I am better read on Bradbury of the 70s and late 60s. But yeah, and this has some of his. Ray Bradbury had a tortured relationship with John Huston, the film director, in working on Moby Dick, his film adaptation of it. And John Huston's films are excellent. The King. What is it? It's got Sean Connery in it. Something. I'm not remembering the exact name of it, but it has Sean Connery as a con man pretending to be a king, and then being exposed for the fraud that he is. It's quite good, but apparently he was very difficult to work with. Not Connery, I don't know anything about him, but John Huston. And Ray Bradbury immortalizes that struggle quite well in a short story in which he shows how Huston was, one would call it now, trolling and manipulative. And then he kills him. So, the man who would be king. Thank you, Dan. Evening. So it's one of those. There's a Garrison Keillor quotation that from one of the Prairie Home Companions about 15 years ago was, "Beware of crossing an English major. We will immortalize you in ways you would rather not be remembered." And Bradbury lives up to that quite well, though he was not himself an English major. And this, best UFO videos of the 90s. This is amazing. This is... So, best UFO videos of the 90s was taken almost exclusively from Mexican public access television. There was a sort of a mysteries, unsolved mysteries themed television show there. And a lot of the footage just basically is cribbed from that. The on-screen text is in Italian. The interview subjects are sometimes from the UK, sometimes from Mexico. Almost all of it focuses on Mexico City, and it's just that. And the narrator has an English accent and pronounces them UFOs. UFOs as UFOs, which I've never heard before. So it's a very weird mix of a lot of different elements. The Mexican source material, the Italian titles, the English narrator, and it's actually available on YouTube if you would like to find it. Best UFO videos of the 90s. And he also goes into some wild digressions pertaining to the well-being and fate of humanity. I recommend it. Yes, Houston is one of those sort of challenging geniuses. And yes, I did not know it was based on a Kipling story, but given the texture of the story and the way it goes, it does not surprise me at all. The redeeming quality of it is that Connery and his compatriot. No, it's Michael Caine. Michael Caine. Michael Caine is also in that. Connery, Caine, excellent actors, and they are a great pair of rogues that they're fun to watch. Remaking MGS3. I'm fascinated by it. I welcome it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle repurposing the original VO for cutscenes that I imagine they are redoing. I'm really curious to see how they redo the cutscenes, since everything in MGS was, of course, done in Engine. That was kind of its innovation, and successive games in the series played that out. And I'm really curious to see how they work the mechanics. Octo Camo in MGS4 worked because it was, futuristic technology that doesn't exist. You can press against the wall and get the texture and color of the wall. And in Snake Eater, he's pretty clearly, literally changing clothes. So I'm wondering if or how they're going to take the camo viewer mechanic and somehow make that happen real time in the same way that Octo Camo does, or if they're going to hand wave it away, which would be an acceptable answer. I think that's a valid design choice. Hand wave it away as, he's changing clothes off screen, even though off screen literally means in the blank screen between hitting start and hitting start. I think there are a lot of things that could be fixed. I am curious to see how they develop CQC, which has become more complex. I think MGS5's CQC felt pretty good. The thing that I am concerned about, and this isn't like a concern as in I'm worried about it, but the thing that I'm interested to see, maybe that's a better way of putting it, is so if you think about the shift, I don't know if you played Metal Gear Online for Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence or Metal Gear Online 2, but CQC and basically those two versions of the game, one feels very arcadey, very pick up and play, and with a limited number of limited palette of actions. Everybody moved at roughly the same pace, had roughly the same skills, and it was just action. And Metal Gear Online 2 made it a little more RPG, right? A little more invest in your character and choose skills to load out with. And there's a very different feel for that, right? The quick, crisp simplicity of Metal Gear Online for MGS3 just isn't there in the later version. And so I'm wondering if something like that will happen with the remake with CQC, if they go the route of Metal Gear Solid 5, bring in those CQC mechanics and that depth. If it will feel, I don't know, a little mushier, to put it maybe a little strangely, just because that's a change that's happened before when they took the formulas of Metal Gear Solid 3 and developed them further. So I'm curious to see how that works out. Yeah, I do hope that the Shagohod chase scene, Swimmy, I hope that it does have the two options. One, the over the shoulder to attack, and auto aim. Watch this from the preset camera angles. It's a fun movie. The audio volume of the action changes depending on where the camera is. Sometimes it's all the way at the end of the runway. Sometimes it's right under the Shagohod's treads, and that's really cool. And yes, Mazen, the voice acting I think will be the same, and I'm really curious to know how they work around that. I mean, yeah, and this is one thing that I do hope that MGS3 does, Dan, you've hit on it, which is that being able to control bees, technically harness, but that doesn't sound as fun to say. Being able to control bees is underutilized. It's a novelty mechanic much of the time. It can be useful in maybe 3 areas after the Pains fight, and maybe 1 or 2 before. Something that I would love for them to do, as somebody who played quite a bit with the Pains camo, and I think I recorded this on some of the Metal Gear Solid 3 Foxhound Rank video walkthroughs, is So something you can do is if you get a hive, hornet hive, you throw it on the ground and then you shoot down another hive of bees. No. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting this. If you get a hive and have it in your food inventory, then during the fight with the pain, you equip it and throw it on the ground. It'll pop up as an item, and then the pain's hornets will go toward the nest and repopulate it. And so then it pops and turns into a new food item, not just a hive, but a hive full of pain hornets. And then you can put that in your inventory, and it's basically a complete stamina refill if you eat it. And if you throw it out, it'll pop on the ground, and I think you'll see maybe like some particles around it indicating that bees are in it. I don't remember exactly, but I had always hoped that you would be able to capture those pain hornets in those food items, then wear the pain camo, and then be able to throw that out and actually summon bees from your food inventory, and then use that to, yes, it doesn't spoil also. That's another good thing for it. It's a shame that it doesn't repopulate in your inventory after you get it when you get captured, but them's the breaks. But yeah, to be able to carry the pain camo's utility no matter where you go, I think that would be a great addition. And I feel certain that, and this is another question I have, is one of the things that Kojima Productions is very good at doing is, for lack of a better term, letting you screw around with the system very freely. And I think that I hope that the team working on it now has a similar sensibility. And I have no reason to think they won't. None of these are doubting the team's capability. These are just questions that I have as a well-known big fan of the original. Yeah, well, I mean, load times are the bane of any game, and it will cost you Metacritic points just for that alone. Let's see, what else? Show and tell, last thing to wrap up. Oh yeah, so this is fun. So I was looking at the instruction manual of Dead Souls, and I looked on the back and I saw an advertisement for Binary Domain. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I pulled out my copy of Binary Domain, this guy right here, and I looked at it, and on the back of this is the instruction manual, and on the back of that, there's an advertisement for Yakuza Dead Souls. And so I know that there is some connection between the two. I don't know if they shared staff or what. But yeah, so I'm really curious to play these two back to back. I think this could be a fun game to stream afterwards. They both there are some similarities right off the bat when you load in Yakuza Dead Souls. We didn't do this on stream, but there's a whole loading sequence where you get to see entertaining animations of the characters kind of like doing things with their guns and flourishing them and the like. And similarly with Binary Domain, there is a front load off the disc that has sort of like an entertaining animation. So there's some of the same ideas there. I loved Binary Domain. Yes, no, for Binary Domain is forgiving, but not that forgiving, I should say. Yeah, no, I know the gimmick that they had behind it was like the voice command mechanics, but I think that the game is strong despite that. Yeah, what else? I'm doing this. Dan, this will be of interest to you. And maybe no one else, but that's enough, right? Is I decided to get back into Bach, and rather than go for an entire big fella, as I'm going to call it, I decided to look at his chorales, which are these, 8 measure bits from longer cantatas. And they are just the right size for the time that I have available to learn and work on music. So as you can see, it's even the cantata, even the chorale itself can be quite dense. And so what I've done is I've written it out by hand, of course. So there's the treble line, and that's pretty simple to read on its own, and something that I can play on the banjo pretty simply because it's just a bunch of pinches. But then for the bass line, I copied that out and used two different highlighters colors to mark out the two different voices that are present, because this is far more than just a bunch of pinching. These are actually there are two distinct voices in here that command dedicated attention to understanding, and so just for being able to wrap my head around it, I'll probably record a run through of the melody and then use that as a baseline, pun unintended, but accepted, for playing the bass line. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, this is something else. And, oh, yes, I think $60, Mazen, is absolutely justified. That's a lot of great content, and it is worth it. There is the argument that by repackaging something that already exists, they haven't actually made anything. But making it available for a modern console, and that can be a gauge for interest in further work in the Metal Gear franchise, and $60 as a standard price point, standard industry price point for enough material of that heft, and also the extras that they're putting in there, the design documents, the behind the scenes materials, all of that is, I mean, that's probably worth more than $60 alone to the dedicated. So I think $60 is a great price point for it. I will be dropping it for sure. But yeah, Dan, so Mozart is interesting, because I was thinking about him when I was looking at this. The other Bach that I'm working on is his inventions. So here's Invention 11, which, as you can see, and so while I was writing this out and sort of figuring, it's just 2 pages, so that's pretty easy. But yeah, as I was writing it out, you can see here, and sort of tabbing it out a little bit. And I mean, I don't appreciate this always when I'm listening to it, but then when I actually see it and start working on it with my hands, it's like, you are just moving your hand from one side of the keyboard to the other, and then kind of going down, and then kind of going back up again. That is what you are doing. It's like, more complex than that, obviously, but in terms of the mechanics of it, you're looking at it, it's like, wait a minute, conceptually, this is really simple. Manually, this is really simple. And it makes me think of Mozart, who... I've also looked at that on his work, and it's just like, there are just points in Mozart's songs where he's just like, all right, I'm going to go all the way from the bottom of this piano all the way to the top, and then maybe I'm going to go back down again, and maybe back to the top and down again, maybe with increasingly smaller intervals, and it's just like, man, you guys are having a good time. So these are from an actual book that I have, with Bach's sheet music in it, and I am forbidden, these are not mine, they are loaners, I am forbidden for writing them or mangling them, and I tend to mangle any book that I own, so out of respect for that, I just will take a picture of it with my camera, which actually gives it a little bit more of a nicotine stained look to it, depending on the lighting, and then I just print that out. So if there's something that you're looking for in particular from those, I would be glad to take a picture of it for you. If there's something that you have in mind, hit me up, and I'll be glad to see if I got it and give you that sweet, sweet iPhone quality. So, but with that in mind, that is a pretty good show and tell. Let's hop into Dead Souls here. Mazen, I'm curious, do you think $60 is a good price point for it? Let's see, is this, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I find that, so those are useful resources for sort of backup checking what I have, but it's the same with anything that I'm researching or any kind of project that has any kind of like informational or research aspect to it. I always prefer a book that has been published by somebody who feels accountable for the quality of the content inside. And if I start from there and then use online resources to supplement that, then I feel much better about moving forward. And it's the same, like with music online. I was speaking about this with a banjo instructor just the other day, about how like the tabs and chords that you find for many songs online are kind of like what the transcriber heard, not necessarily what's actually being played or the song. And apparently a very attentive ear will notice the difference. And I, as somebody who am developing my ear, appreciate knowing that, because being given a heads up on what not to trust for online information is worth about as much as knowing what to trust. So anyway, starting with a book that has some expectation of quality, then going to a site like that and cross-referencing, which is how I've done what I've done for a lot of my own arrangements of songs. That's super useful. Let's see, 15? Is this... I know 14 was 67, 69. How many saves are on here? So... I think this was our save. Yep. Yeah, Dan, I as well. In the Discord, I was mentioning regarding Wikipedia. Usually, the references section of a given article is what I would point to as the most valuable part of it. Introductory material always has to be reductive at some point, because if you introduce somebody to a topic with its complexity, they're never going to really sort of get their teeth into it. But Wikipedia's reduction is exceptional. not super helpful, I find. Well, Ark, I hope you are able to wake up a bit. Get yourself some coffee. Oh man, swimming. That's a bitter prof. Mazen, I have two PlayStation 3s. I have one that is jailbroken, and this one is not. The one that is not jailbroken is for games like this one that I would like to play and have updated patches on. The other one is basically exclusively for Metal Gear Online. I do need to find out a way to... I'm pretty sure, it seems to me, that a jailbroken PlayStation 3 should be able to change regions on the fly. The PS3 has a limited number of times you can change its region, and I do like to watch movies from different regions. So having a region 3 DVD player would be, and Blu-ray player at that, would be excellent. But I'm still looking into doing that. So to answer your question, this one is not, but I have one that is. No, that's true, Dan. That's why I specify that not just a book, but a book published by somebody who cares whether or not it is reliable. Okay, so I am going into the quarantine zone to find the cat that this guy mentioned, and once I do that, I will have completed the collection quest that I'm currently on, and Akiyama can get paid. And then I have one more side quest to do, one more collection run to do in the red light district to get the item that I need to build Akiyama's ultimate weapon. That's great, Swimmy. That's like a very petty I buried Paul at the end of was it Strawberry Fields? I think it is. Really? I remember somebody was telling me about ways that authors have signed their works using like a rebus or something, and they pointed out, I think in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, somebody's building a mountain out of mashed potatoes, excuse me, building a mountain out of mashed potatoes, and they pointed out that this is that was Spielberg's what? No, thank you. That was Spielberg's signing of his work, because it's a play mountain. Spiel being German for play, and Berg being German for mountain. Which I don't know how accurate that is, but I like the thought of it. Oh, just passing through, looking for a cat. Going into a quarantine zone to find a cat is super relatable protagonist activity. Ah! The music in this game is interests me because like usually music that's got this that's this high energy only plays during combat sequences, and much of this game and combat sequences in a Yakuza game probably last like oh, I don't know, maybe a minute at most, depending upon how long a fight's taking. So to be in this world and have this this intensity of music going for so long is a bit unusual. Okay, so I think the guy said the cat went in over here, so it's to my right. Oh, this is another side quest. Oh, this guy! This guy's dedicated to a first date, hanging out in a zombie quarantine zone, because that's what he promised he would do. I heard the word kuruma, which means car. So I'm curious if he was talking about a car. Anyway. Alright. So, cat. There he is! The series has been having cat side quests all the way since then. Yeah, zombies are forward-looking to NPC activity in the PlayStation 4 Yakuza games. I've noticed that NPCs will actually get close to you during cutscenes and interactions in this, whereas in the later ones, they will walk up to you, get about 5 feet away, and then just slowly, silently turn 180 degrees and walk the other direction. Alright, I got the cat. Let's get this dude out of here. There we go. The zombie is respectfully waiting behind me. You can see its hand there hovering in the lower left. This is a different format of subtitles. Alright, let's see. I think I can... Can I give this guy different equipment? Oh, wow, my either my partners drop back down to level 1 or I never leveled that guy up. No, don't say that. That's going to guarantee some sort of tragedy. Conversation does not 100% match the fact that that we're absolutely making a ton of noise shooting zombies. Jet Li Rise to Honor. I've heard that title before. That seems familiar. But I don't think I've ever played it. Alright. Oh, he's handy enough. He's, you know... Point, it's, to quote a minor character from a Futurama episode, simple point-and-click interface. That's your shotgun. All right. Where's this cat gonna live? What's the genre? Is it a shooter or a brawler? Excuse me. Oh, that's right. He just got out of jail. Gary just shows up out of nowhere. Gary is my secondary character locker. Interesting. Well, I do like PlayStation 2 era brawlers. They, you know, it's sort of before they figured out a lot of conventions that a lot of games just sort of adopted as baseline. So, I'm curious. I'll check it out. What a weird set of social dynamics here. Like, how is she fine with this? Okay, so my the guy whose cat I have, let's see. So he's in the hotel district. Excuse me. Is it is it PS2 or PS3? Unless it's like one of these like Kuon expensive resale games. I'll probably just pick up a physical copy. PS2? Okay. Now I enjoy collecting physical media for PlayStation 2. So again, if it's not like, you know, crazy expensive, here's your kitty. So yeah, the story on this guy is that he had to borrow like 7 digits of yen from Akiyama so he could support. No, he had to borrow 7 digits of yen from the mob so he could support his 15 cats, and that went south. So Akiyama lent him that amount of money to pay off his debt to the Yakuza, on the condition that he give up 14 of his 15 cats, and Alicia is the last one that he didn't part with. So this is a big deal for this guy. Wow, that is a spirit-filled meow. All right, so the next one gives us the item that we need. No, why? That's so weird. Why would you assign that to the select button and not the map? Let's see. Who is next? Jury. Well, there's medical bills. Needed the money for her grubbing boyfriend. Worked as a hostess at Elise. Okay. Can you go into first person in this? Yes, you can. But you cannot run around in first person and just look at things. I've got to say, going into first person in the later Yakuza games is it really is a joy. Just like the detail that they put in everything is amazing. Where is Elise? I actually don't think, if I'm remembering this sub story from when I played it back in 2012, this is not a club on the map. You just have to kind of know where it is. Let's see. Night spots. Yeah, it's not there. So I think it's around here. If I don't find it running around here, I'll just look it up online. There it is. Is that? No, that is Cabaret Club Elnard. Let's see. Orchid. All right. Last intuition says it's somewhere down here. Which I guess I would just see an interactable NPC outside of it. If I were in the right place. Is this, no. Marco Polo. Is this... No. Okay, I'm not seeing it here, so... And shoot. Oh, I thank you. I try to reserve any kind of ROM downloads for games that are just like prohibitively expensive or impossible to get access to. So that is useful to have in the back pocket. Alright. I am not seeing it, so... Let's see. Oh no, I can't multitask on this. And I don't have my phone. Shoot. Let's see. Do I have any... any way to mark... Ah! Deltahead Boulevard. Thank you for that. Deltahead Boulevard East. So that is south of the Champion District. PS3 emulation is a little beyond my my rig. I know that, so like I said, I jailbroke my PlayStation 3 so I could play the Metal Gear Online 2 on the fan servers, and you need like a special package installed on your system to do that. And I play sometimes, you know, I run into people who are playing emulated, and the rig required to emulate the PlayStation 3, emulate that game in particular, and also go online and manage all the network stuff. There it is. It's a hefty ask. I fully expect this means there's a fight ready to break out. As happens so often in this universe. Do I enter over here? Ah, here we go. Okay, so the hostess who loaned money from Akiyama is inside the quarantine zone. There's a little dragon amulet that you get as a as a reward for this collection. And that is one of 4 ingredients needed to get Akiyama's ultimate weapon. Let's see. Did it tell me? Where in the quarantine zone might she be? Well, I'm hoping that if I get close to it, it's just going to automatically, it'll just, automatically give me a cutscene like it did with that other guy. I do like Akiyama's little hups. So nice of them to restock this fuel truck every time I come in. Alright, so... she in Theater Square. Ah, runner! This is enemy rush. No, 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 no! The enemies! The enemies! Did I scare them off? I think that's the opposite of what zombies are supposed to do. What? The proportions on that zombie are weird and strange. Oh, yes. Squish. Big man on campus there seems fine. Come on, Marina. Y'all doing all right? Or well, come on, Marina. Just run around them. Just got planched by that thing. Alright, let's get out of here. Ah! Oh, did you? Oh, you are further along in that than I am, my friend. I played that game for a few hours and got so creeped out. I think it was the first area where the alien is actively stalking you. That I just couldn't deal with the tension. Maybe now. Maybe now. Yeah, I hear that once you get the flamethrower and can defend yourself, it sort of loses its spirit. Yeah, I had the little the radar object, and I was getting so many weird readings that I kept spooking myself. Gary. Like how the game is even the game is aware of how weird his appearance by necessity is. God, Gary's huge. Man? Gary's great. I'm really glad that they've kept up with how over the top he is, all the way down to Yakuza Like a Dragon, where he is the he's one of the summons in that game. Okay, so I thought that that was the submission to collect. No, that was not. That was just something else that happened. Okay. So she's near Elise. I'm super confused right now. Pub squat. Elegant. Is this her? Yes. Yes, it does have mini games. I believe they are. Excuse me. I believe they are in bars and the like, which you can liberate in the quarantine zone from being besieged by zombies. A beige cap. There we go. This is the side story that I need to complete. Yeah, I know. I mean, maybe that's what the quarantine zone's about, right? Gotta keep that cap in line. There it is. Alright, let's find this beige cap. Oh, that's him. The zombie with the beige cap. Oh, is this gonna do what I think it's gonna do? So, I remember in Yakuza 4, they had these weird chasing mini games that I think they repurposed for this, and I think that's what we're about to do. Or maybe I'm just gonna shoot a bunch of zombies. Yep, that's it. I'm sure there's a chasing minigame in here. Somewhere. Yeah. And this is where the game gets a little bit tedious because, you know, I am running through this area to get in and out of the quarantine zone fairly frequently at this point for all the side stories, and so you spend a disproportionate amount of time in these areas fighting zombies in these locations. And as cool as Kamurocho is outside, I would rather have have the repeated areas be outdoors rather than through a series of tunnels, which don't feel like they they don't capture the Kamurocho vibe very well. Alright, let's go back to Elise. Tell Jury that her boyfriend is no longer with us. And then get that weapon crafting reward. Yep. I have a hard time seeing Akiyama being squeamish about sharing the truth. There we go. Seal of the Dragon. So now I need 3 platinum plates, and we're going to, I mean, that's what a beige hat's gonna get you, man. Yeah, everybody's coming up a winner here. I need to get platinum plates, which are a high rarity drop. But this game, as all the games do, allow you to buy these things in a somewhat roundabout way, where they are also prizes at gambling parlors. And so you buy, in this case, it's mahjong sticks. You can buy the gambling currency, the bespoke gambling currency, and then just trade that currency in for the object, which is what we're going to do now. So, let's see. Valuables, item list. Okay, I got room in here. So, hold on. Let me just make sure that I don't have these in my inventory. Let me run to a save booth. Yeah, I know how to play shogi, and I've always really enjoyed the shogi challenges in these games, but I know shogi because I like to play shogi. I don't know mahjong, and completing it knowing Mahjong to complete the mini game has never been a motivation enough for me to actually learn it. So that's where I am. Okay. Let's see. Excuse me. Parts. Aggro metal. Where did my seal of the dragon go? Oh, it's in my inventory. Duh. Okay, so I don't have any platinum plates, so I need to get those here. Now, shogi is a lot of fun. I prefer it to regular chess, even though I have won far fewer shogi games than I have chess. Which isn't saying I'm great at chess, I just have played more of it. So, you know, it's a numbers game at that point. With people who are similarly skilled. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but yeah, if Shogi Explained, who's a friend of mine, he and I say I co-founded it, meaning I was there when he more substantially founded it. The Seattle Shogi Club is a great person to talk to if it catches your interest. He's a very good teacher, and I've seen him take people from novice to capable in pretty short order. All right. Yes, I will be sure to come back for another game, and not just do a weird, like money laundering to get special items. Pale dim. I'm assuming White Dragon, based off your description, is the correct, and I can see how white would become pale, but how would dragon become dim? That's interesting. What's my... Oh, I could stand to eat. Rashimase. Got any food? Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's the scientist lady. Sitting at Cafe Alps. Waiting for the quarantine zone to expand its range. Oh, I see. Oh, is that like dim as in like a verb? Like to dim? Yes. As in faint, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, pale has that quality of intensity diminishing, like dim does. What does the white dragon do in Final Fantasy IV, Swimmy? Oh, I see. I thought from I because mahjong tiles are objects, I assumed that it was an object itself, but no. That's interesting. White Dragon as a spell name, yeah, I could see it being like a summons or something. Alright, time to build this gun in this completely inconspicuous weapons launderer's truck. Yes! Okay, so can I upgrade this? Oh wait, I turned my high and low into that. Okay. Oh, it's already it's not something I upgrade individually. It's already there. The ultimate pair of handguns. You know, I read over the years of internet nerd forums who would win in a fight, a samurai or a medieval, Arthurian knight. And those what if battles, are, they go on. But I don't think I've read as many like what would win in a fight, a Western chunky boy dragon or or the slender sort of Chinese Japanese dragons. Okay, so we have our missions. Let's see. Maybe we'll get a bunch of money if we finish these. And also just have a reason to use these guns that we just spent so much time getting. I've got an item for nothing. You currently have no sticks. Cool, that's an answer to a question I wasn't asking. Daughter was born, stayed away, helping living expenses, heard his daughter had given up on university because of the cost, had to borrow the money, had to give it to his daughter in person, works at Lilith on Supon Street. Okay. So where is Supon Street? I actually don't have an intuition for that. Park, Sanrio, Pink Alley, Nakamichi. Is it over here? Taihei West, Theater Alley. Is Tenkaichi, Taihei, Theater Avenue, Theater Square, Supon Street. Oh, it's in the quarantine zone. Well, in we go. I feel like Bahamut should always be the most threatening of the dragons. I bet. Didn't you speedrun that? Let's see. Sure. Whose life do I feel like endangering? Oh man. It is a mark of dedication to play a game. Oh my god, they sparkle! Oh, that's great. Look at that. Oh, randomizers for an RPG are dedication. Oh, I love how fast that thing died. That's great. Oh, they're so shiny! Thank you, Space Hamlet. Is it my affiliate anniversary? And how did you know this and I didn't? Oh, I love it! Oh, it's so good! Well, I'm sorry for your duress. Oh. Is that something that it prompts you to say to me? How weird. Okay. Oh, they even sparkle there too. Well, I appreciate it. Hey man, I appreciate being wished a happy anything. I live a life of gratitude. There we go. Oh, this is... Sure, this isn't gonna hit Kendo. Oh, sorry, Kendo. Oh. Oh, he's fine. Excuse me. Yeah, no, I was looking at, I was backing up my stream archives onto an external drive. And, oh, I leveled up. How many of these things do I have? I have 4? Oh, no, I want unarmed mastery. Absolutely. What was I gonna, what am I saying? Yeah, I was looking. I was backing up my my stream archives locally, and I've been doing this since 2020. Like, yeah, there's there we go. So I started streaming. Oh, hold on a second. But yeah, so yeah, started streaming in 2020. Did that for a little while. Was streaming like twice a week, doing a lot of games, building up, you know, audience, and then family stuff happened, and I didn't stream for about 8 months, and you know, Twitch is, and you know, this sort of performative performance social media stuff is not so much what have you done, but what have you done lately. You know, it's you disappear off the radar for like a week and you're dead. But it's interesting. That really sort of refined who the core audience is, and many of the folks here in chat are they with others, and I like that. I like that. It makes it feel more like a thing, an event that I understand what it is, rather than just showing up and throwing a game out into the ether. Oh, Ark, we do get a shotgun, just not with Akiyama. Shotgun is Majima's specialty. Well. Oh, Lilith. There it is. Yeah, so something I mentioned this a little earlier, but something I'm interested to explore is so this game apparently has some relationship to Binary Domain, a Sega shooter that I think was made from the ground up to be a shooter, such that if you look on the instruction manual of Yakuza Dead Souls, you see an advertisement for Binary Domain. If you buy Binary Domain, you'll see an advertisement on the back for Yakuza Dead Souls. So clearly they had these in mind for the same audience. And I'm really curious. I've seen some of the same animations in between the two, and I'm curious to know if they share any other kind of like developer DNA. Because yeah, as much as you might think that this this is a novelty Gaiden game, they put a lot of heart into it, and it's definitely a game that is self-aware of the Yakuza game series tropes. I have not. Baldur's Gate 3 looks like it will take so much time and be a worthwhile. It'll be a worthwhile endeavor, but I just don't know if I have the time for that, and I don't view it as missing out. I don't view it as FOMO exactly, but. I do realize I'm going to be playing this game after the zeitgeist is passed. What the hell? One thing that I am that intrigues me is the talk to animals spell, which I hear goes very deep into as a system. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're gonna do a shooter, I mean, the thing about like a Yakuza game is there's already a lot figured out in terms of the assets, the world, and a lot of the you know, stuff that you might have to build from the ground up in something like Binary Domain, like canned animations and the like. Yeah. All right. This gelato cafe is liberated. Yeah, somebody, yeah, everything inside is fine. Yeah, I've, eaten all this stuff, but you know what? Take a break. So one thing that I love about this game is the, like, juxtaposition between the glib obliviousness of people who are living the consumer lifestyle and walking around and shopping and enjoying eating in places, and then like you walk outside and it's just like hell and everything is like falling apart, and I like that. I enjoy it. Alright. As long as we have these guns, let's see. Alright. Tsukimura. And... where is... yes. $5 million. Ebisupan. I required him to turn 100 into 500 K within 2 days as a condition. Went back to gambling, hit a bad losing streak, put his last 10 on a horse and won 500. Okay. Let's, anything else we can liberate here? Matsuya Tenkaichi, where is that? That's to my left. Yeah, we can help them out. And Club Sega. No way! I never played Binary Domain's DLC. I mean, multiplayer, I should say. Yeah, everybody in here is just like on this permanent lunch break. Yeah, let's have a large beef on rice. Bane, is he the English English guy you see Dan carrying in on the front cover? Excuse me. I think my favorite thing about Binary Domain is the French ballet dancing cyborg who is one of your buddies. All right, now let's go liberate Sega. Well, I mean, you know, I bought this game, so clearly I support Sega in the real world. I might as well support it in this virtual world as well. Maybe I can play Virtua Fighter 2. Oh, Boxelios! I wish that Heavy Viper were here. He had was ranked on this thing. Boxelios. So there's Boxelios 1 and Boxelios 2. Shoot, move. Yep. Oh, that's the same. That's the same visual as effect on the shot as the orbital laser. Like this game, this mini game is Sega in its stride. This is very good Dreamcasty shooter. Like all this sciencey looking data that's showing up next to my score. By sciencey looking data, I mean my actual score and this calculation. Oh, there's a core that I need to hit. Is that, it kind of got like kind of an Opa look to it. I mean, that's that feels like a very Sega arcade ending. What a great place to put that. Yeah. Holy cow! Like, when you see that kind of difference in a high score, like, you want to know, like, what did that person know? What did that person know that they could do that? Because yeah, like this progression seems pretty reasonable. Then you get up here, and the degrees by which the high scores jump. It's not a battle of inches. This is somebody who just like blew it away. Let's see what's Buxilios 2. Buxilios 2 Turbo. So yeah, Ark, if you were curious about the mini games, this is they like I said, they live all in the same places. All right, fire charged beam and shoot. Oh, weird. I don't have a charge. Oh, there's a power meter there. Okay, that's it. There's a power meter there. And our power counter, not meter. And that's my charge shot. They improved the how well you feel you're doing here. In the first one, it was really a matter of like, oh wow, that was a waste. It was a matter of being on the same height as the enemy, and this one, it's like, I don't know what the official name for this control scheme is, but basically, it doesn't matter where on the screen my ship is. It just matters the direction I'm pushing the stick, because that determines where I fire. It's also interesting that, like, you look at the VFX on my gun, and the shots sort of extend behind my ship too. Come on! Ho 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 ho! 0.43 seconds left. That's happy. Even when you get a game over, you haven't failed, you just haven't succeeded. They reused the fight end music for the regular games. See if we still have the same kind of jump in high scores here too. No, see, this makes more sense, right? Like the increments is more incremental. There is a pretty major jump between 2 and 1. Whoever player 1 was definitely secured their place there. Oh, there he is! Number 13, Square Viper. Our very own Heavy Viper. So yeah. Proud of you, buddy. So the VF5, which I'm not going to play. This is not an option. Kendo's just tapping his foot. All right, we liberated Sega. UFO catcher. All right, let's go green. Boom! That's how you know it's a fantasy game. Okay, let's go for pink. Come on, Pio-chan! Alright. Let's go yellow. Am I gonna get the whole set? Boom. It's regular Pio-chan. All right. Ah, so close. All right, we're gonna go for that one again. Yeah! Big puppet chihuahua. Hell yeah! What is that? What are those games? Huh, I can't identify them at that resolution, but cool. Even though Hana's been burning up with a fever, will have get well presents for her when I finally deliver to her the penicillin. All right, so what am I at here? Ebisupan, that's right. Now, I know I said we weren't going to do many of the sub-story missions, but I think that if you do Akiyamas, you actually do get quite a lot of money. I don't remember for sure. And that could set us up for success as we continue. I also have not bothered to look that up. Now time to go back and hang out with Gary. Gary, can I go spend time with my expecting girlfriend? No. You will train with this shotgun. Alright, Ebisupan is south from here. Down south past Millennium Tower and near the bottom of our map. There he is. Oh, he's not just outside Ebisupan, he's outside the Mahjong parlor. Word's getting around that Akiyama is just cavalierly going in and out of the quarantine zone. Public Park number 3. Okay. Yep, that's near Sky Finance. DLC. Oh, wow, we just start here. I appreciate that very much. Is he setting me up to leave me for dead? Yeah, he was trying to get me killed. Yeah, well, that's the that is a weakness of the game, is that it can be it can feel samey and repetitive. Where did he go? Sky Finance is right there. Maybe that's where he went to. Yeah, there he is. Oh man, well I hope you're not late to anything consequential, Ark. Probably work, but good luck, and it's great to see you. I hope to see you next week, man. So I'm I am escorting him out of the problem that he got us into. So, to Ark's point, yes, this is now the same thing I've just been doing a bunch of. Stop that. I am glad I have the Elise handguns, because, don't believe I would, want to spend the time to do this otherwise. Carry... Oh, right. I, loaded up on Pio-chan. Frankly, I don't know why I have been diving down these stairs the entire time. See, man, Snake in Metal Gear Solid 2 couldn't roll downstairs. Big Boss can, Metal Gear Solid 3. And even Akiyama can in Yakuza Dead Souls. What is up, Snake? Greatest soldier of the 20th century, my foot. Now, I guess technically that was Big Boss's designation. Alright. Let's get this guy's money and then give Hana her medicine. Alright. This is all wrapped up. Well, we're not going to do any more of those because we've accomplished what we set out to. So let's save. What is in the Oriental building? Gotta find her fast. So save the game, then go to the Oriental building. Alright, the entrance to the main quest is over this way. Excuse me. Oh, nope, I'm going the wrong way. Shove. Pardon. I think I have a ton of this scrap iron. So let's just get rid of this. Let's see. Do. Oh, it wants me to push buttons. Ah! All right. Woo! Is this, no. There we go. I feel like we gotta be coming up on a boss or something pretty soon. It is. It gets a little repetitive. Excuse me. But if you're moving in at a pretty good clip, then if you're moving in at a pretty good pace, you get to switch between characters pretty quickly. Their gameplay changes, and a lot of the strength comes from it being a weird, fun way to sort of enjoy this series universe, I think.
大丈夫だ。熱はすぐに下がる。ありがとうございました。すぐに出よう。歩けるね。はい。
Oh, a liquor.
そんなのあり？秋山さん、踏ん張れそうですか？そういう話はな。秋山さんと一緒なら。俺もさ。
Oh, these guys. Wonder when they'd come back. In case you forgot who these bit characters are. Yes, I want my magic glitter guns. A Rahabaki prototype. Hey now. There we go. Heat action. What? The Dalzim swipe. Yeah, there we go. I would not be getting close to this thing to inspect it. Oh, it's got a little barcode underneath it too. Boom. Alright, that brings Akiyama's chapter to a close. I am glad that we got the Elise weapon so we could blitz through that. That was a good time. I think we'll be picking up with Majima next. Let's see, what time are we at here? Yeah, let's see what the opening here holds for us. Yes. Goda Ryuji.
おととい都内で撮られたものです。それがこっちのスーツの男。 関西近江連合直参二階堂哲夫。
Yeah, now we're getting into the Yakuza meat of it. With the weird politickings and the rivalries.
緊急で招集かけるほどか。ですが、こっちの鉢巻きは皆さんもよくご存知。
I gotta say, I like a world-weary Goda.
六代目いかがだ。
Oh yeah, that's right. Goda was from Daigo's storyline in
近江連合流会会長合田隆二。
in Yakuza 2.
なんだとこいつ死んだはずじゃ。おい安住、どうないなっとんだよ。5年前のうちと関西の構想、ご存知のように。
Oh man. No, I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't have the time that it would take to do something like that now. Both the planning, the execution, the video editing, the commentary. That's just more than I have time to do right now. It would be fun though.
2日後にはカムロ町ヒルズの竣工セレモニーです。登場会の幹部の全員が顔を揃えます。冴島は中国で商談中だろう。そしたら
Oh, they actually account for Saejima being out of town on this then.
全員です。思い出したわ。その二階堂。今イケイケやけど、元は合田の弟分やった男です。合田が消えた途端、関西で頭角荒らしおったんですわ。問題は、なぜ今この二人が東京にいるのか。何か。
Like this is where like this game as a sort of alternate universe side story is shows a lot of love for this for the series legacy because it brings back Goda.
他の組とも連携して警備の強化を。采配はお任せします。 こらボケ、何やっとんじゃ。 やっぱほんまもう迫力がちゃうな。最高や。まさかゾンビとやりや。
Majima is exactly the kind of sociopath who is like ideal for this scenario.
親父、早く死体出すぞ。
行くで。がっかりさせんなや。
Okay, and that's a pretty good place to wrap on for the night. We're not going to get... That's, not going to get too deep into Majima's game at this point. Let's see, what does the equipment look like? There we go. But, yeah, no, this is a great place to call it. Got Akiyama's stuff done, his ultimate weapon, and, yeah, it's a lot of fun. MGS4, yeah, MGS4 is much harder to predict. Excuse me. It's a little harder to manipulate in some ways than the other Metal Gear games with the enemy AI. Oh my goodness! So I agree with you. But Mazen, it's great having you out. I enjoyed chatting with you, and hope you come out next time. We're going to be picking up with Majima's story on Wednesday of next week. So for you and all the other folks out tonight, hope you have a good night, and look forward to seeing you next week. So, have a good night. There we go. Cool. Good night.